Want to draw more students into your teaching business? I'm going to show you how. And in the interview coming up, you'll learn more about the Rhythm Warriors Piano Zone, the brand new course system recognised by the Rock School exam board, heralded by them as groundbreaking and changing the face of music education. You'll see that it is available to music teachers, to piano keyboard teachers around the world. Use it and the free promotional materials that come with it to draw more students into your school, and the free teacher training to show you how to use it most efficiently and effectively so that you can start to teach in small groups to scale your business further still. There's a ton of free business support in that free training too. As I say, click the link in the description for that application form. If you're excited about that, please do like and share. Subscribe to the channel. There are new videos released each week. Our mission is to help teachers all around the world to reach and inspire future music students, no matter what their learning abilities or learning style are. We achieve all this through growing our positive, proven and peaceful global teacher community. We want to make sure that we do a good thing in the world. This coaching and community sets out to provide the same holistic approach and support that we've used at Presto Music School since 2004. And we've taught 17,000 students thereabouts since we started. So you know you're in a safe and supportive place. Sam Retty is the awesome guy who is behind Muzie Live. It's an incredible platform, really is world leading. It is super low latency, fantastic audio quality with a ton of additional resources in there too. Check out muzie.live, a brilliant online resource for teachers and thousands of students around the world. So on with the show. Sam started off by asking how we managed to retain the quality of our exam board recognized tuition systems within an animated format. Let's find out.
Something I've always wanted to know is when you're animating something that's musical based, how do you animate it? How do you make it so that it's actually right and accurate, that you're producing something that is genuinely the right information on the instruments? Because of course it's being animated, it's not the real thing.
Yeah. If you go to rhythmwarriors.com, you'll be able to click on the videos. You'll actually be able to see one of the teasers that we created. The band, as they are playing that track, they are actually playing the correct notes. And the reason that they're doing that is because I write the music, I write the lyrics, I do all the production. So
never mind all that, right? the fact that you put the whole thing together yourself. I mean,
it's just, what else are you going to do? If you're going to sit in space with no friends, we're going to sit out all on your own in space, then I might as well do that. No, so I play the instruments and I film it, and then I send that over to the animation studio, and they actually then animate the exact performances, but they do that all the way through. I tell you what's lovely as well, their attention to detail is astonishing, to the point whereby hello Casey, hello Gunn and team, they're a great bunch of guys. I just could not be doing this without them. So we produce it with Emo Front in association with Sparky Animation Studios. What they bring to the party is awesome artwork, immense creativity. The direction is just phenomenal. Their quality that they push and the enjoyment level, but even down to, so if I play something and literally something is not quite how I would have done it, then they go, no, tell us where should it be? And I'm going, yeah, but I know it's going to take you hours.
Right, you're like, this finger needs to be 1 centimeter over to the side. But that's what I was so blown away about, is when I was watching the trailer, I was watching the hands, because my first thought is like, if you're going to do something animated with creatures, right, is that the hard part there is making the body motion actually mimic what it should be looking like. Yeah. And when I saw it, I was like, that's literally perfect. Like, how the heck did you do that? I was thinking big motion capture suits type thing, but I love the fact that you're able to have that access to tweak it in the way that makes it so perfect.
I can't take any credit for the drawing whatsoever. Please don't think I'm sitting there with crayons.
No, of course. But the concept, having that connection with the team, being able to communicate that effectively is, something you deal with in software, is trying to transmit a musical idea to a product thing, right? So same thing with video, I can imagine. That's probably another hurdle that you have to jump over.
One of the things that I've enjoyed the most is all the things that are outside my skill set. So
Right.
of course I enjoy writing ridiculous lyrics about crazy things and then putting tunes to it, and the quality that we have to push that is awesome. Of course I love that. When I then get pushed outside my skill set, my comfort zone, I enjoy. What I really enjoy is when something is presented as a genuine, a true stepping stone, a new development in something that hasn't been done before.
Yes.
A perfect example is the game. I mean, this is just there's lots of examples of this, but one example is the game that we are currently working on, which is a tablet and phone version. Yeah, everyone's seen Piano Tiles and everyone's seen the likes of Clash of Clans. So you put those two games together.
Okay.
But it teaches you how to read real notation, because the only way you're going to get your coins that's going to allow you to let the Boogie Woogie Village get their own jet ski. Let's get our priorities right. I mean, if your Boogie Woogies haven't got a jet ski, then
what are you going to do? Where are you going? I'm laughing because we were talking about this the other day in muzie. I was like, maybe we could have muzie minutes, and those are points that you could trade for like new hats and instruments, and so like I think you're dead on the mark with this stuff. It's especially for young. I hesitate even saying that. I was about to say especially for younger kids, but I don't know if that's actually really the whole truth. Is that I think games, animations, and things like we were saying earlier, like you love Disney, I love Disney, like. To this day, I will go and sit and watch a Disney movie. I watched Frozen the other day. I will absolutely love those. So, and I do think that those kinds of animations and games and things have an impact on older students too. Do you guys work with any older students? Have you kind of guinea pigged with them what they think about it?
Guinea pigged older students,
or just throw the idea around to see if it's something they would gravitate towards as well.
The cartoon and all that. Without a shadow of a doubt. What's interesting is that my love for Sesame Street and the Muppets, and I think the Muppets was a big one for me. My love for those became more passionate, for want of another term, as I got into college and uni, and it almost sort of came to a more cult status. I must admit, I think I was the only one who did, because I don't think shared my passion. Yeah. But I was the only one with a Grover t-shirt. Yeah. I had a near far Grover t-shirt. How cool is that? That's fantastic. So yeah, my understanding that this could be something that would be accessed by older students because it was a crazy cool thing was certainly a thing, and that's why the humor within the show is actually skewed slightly older, because little ones will love it because it's crazy. Right. And it really is nutty. It's a nutty show. It's a wonderful show. It's developed by a great team. Obviously ourselves, but the awesomely talented Dwayne Capizzi, who was one of the lead writers. Got a guy who worked on things like Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, big shows. But the guy who we are writing with now to actually create the series itself, Ian Carney, is the guy who wrote things like the series of Angry Birds. Oh, okay. And tons of, he's a legend on tons of, granted, global shows. Right. But the BBC always, present as a super high quality, and their kids stuff is fantastic. And he's a great, guy in there. I guess the point I'm making is that the comedy pitch is quite high. Its accessibility pitch is quite high, but it's pitched quite low for little ones. So yeah, in answer to your question, yes. Absolutely. No, I love it, because that's the Disney trick. Like, Disney movies are written for the parents. Like the script, the subtle humor, that's for mom and dad.
the erratic craziness is for the kids, and that I think is where the beauty lies, is that you can enjoy it. And at heart, I think we all enjoy animations and kiddish kind of stuff. I think that doesn't really detract at all from the value of anything. Like I was saying on muzie, like we incorporate, little characters in a similar vein of like sticker books, basically. And I 100% give those to my adult students. Yeah. They love them. Yeah. It's so I think it's important that when you're talking about furthering education and technology, is that it runs the gamut. Like, you're not just targeting one group of people when you're building or you're providing. You're trying to get that out to as many people as possible. Yeah. And that's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. The ebook is the first release from Rhythm Warriors, and that actually teaches you how to read real music. It's designed for 4 to 7 year olds. It's a piano course book, but it's animated as well. You can then click the play button in the ebook version, and then Tom and Jojo will then, as you just saw.
I love that. This is everything I've ever wanted to be able to do. I love it. So that in itself, that's a whole nother project. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so how are you, like, how are you managing the studios, the teaching, the what I mean? Like, you've got 50 hats on at this point. It's
very long days. I mean, look at the state of me. I'm only 8 years old, and look at the state of me already.
I keep telling everyone I'm 17. They don't believe me anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's busy, but we love it. I have an awesome team, Sam. I have an awesome team. I have great girls and guys running the school. Yeah. I mean, granted, they ask me some questions every now and again.
Of course.
Try and help as best I can.
I try to just be there, put on a smile.
Yeah, but also by the same token, that's a big priority. It's a big priority, because it's a huge responsibility. Because the children's education is what this whole thing is about. What are we trying to do? Cartoons all well and good, but what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? My passion is imparting really good quality education mixed with a ton of fun.
Yep.
Get it signed off by the exam board, so it's the real deal. And I think something which has really helped in the last last year and a half, maybe something like that. Longer still, really. So we train our own teachers. We've always trained our own teachers. Our teachers get the official LCM diploma and qualification. Teacher qualifications, their diplomas, right through to FLCM, right through to the fellowship, which is equivalent to a master's. It's the same kind of level. And for the first time, January this year, we have actually rolled out our music school business builder program to other schools. We've never allowed anybody else to do it, because the thing was, we were growing our school. Why would you? Well,
that was actually something I was going to ask you, is at what point did you feel confident enough to say, okay, I can actually give away my secrets now? It's not that. Because obviously, I'm probably not going to tell everyone how I built muzie. That's like, the secret is there because we want to stay ahead of our competition.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little different, isn't it?
Yes and no. Because the teachers will understand, and you will understand how powerful our music school business builder is, because we don't allow anybody inside a 20-mile radius of where our head office school is.
Okay.
Now all the freebies. So we've got like an hour's free training that anybody can do, which will help them ramp up their skills, and that's even available to people within our
just
local
anybody.
Yeah. Anybody can do that. Anything outside that, and we have to make sure there's a contract to ensure that there's no conflict of interest.
No, that makes perfect sense. I love how well thought out that is, because that is something that's important, is that if you're obviously, providing education to students across the country. So, it's one of those things that's funny, because as a teacher, like you said, your goal is to provide the best education to teach to students. But it doesn't actually have, it's like what I do. It doesn't have to be directly me who's doing the teaching. As long as I am in the food chain somewhere,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay being a step removed if I can provide the platform that lets all the teachers teach. Or for you, you're providing the knowledge base and the resources to let them provide for more students.
Yeah.
You know, so I think at the end of the day, you win because you're winning. Your goal is being achieved regardless. And, you know, yeah, that's amazing.
Absolutely. I mean, we're only here once, and at some point, you know, we're in with it. We always say we're in with a good chance of helping people, and music isn't as important as food or water,
right?
But it has a lot of potential to do a lot of good in the world.
Absolutely,
it really does. And you know, as we've said in the past, if you go to a gig, there are 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 people there who are there to share the same passion as you.
Yes.
And the energy in that stadium, the energy in that small room is positively electric. That's the exact principle on which Rhythm Warriors is based on. The cartoon is based on the fact that there is a planet, Rhythmos, which is in dire need. The whole ecosystem is failing, and the ecosystem itself, it's the music magic. Music magic is the very thing that sustains Rhythmos. Yeah, but beware the beat bandits, my friend, because the beat bandits are gonna, and they're just trying to steal the natural resources of the planet. And all the Rhythm Warriors do, our new plucky heroes, all they do is simply work as a team. You can't be in a band if you don't work as a team. Nope. So they work as a team to protect the environment, and then therefore protect the natural habitat of the boogie woogies.
Okay. I love this. I need to learn another instrument so I can, so I can get the curriculum and do it myself.
Do you play piano?
Not enough. So that's probably the one I'd start with. Is I could play it well enough to get around it, but anything that I have no formal training on it at all.
Well, Wednesday just gone, we actually ran for the first time the finished animation in class.
Oh wow!
So first trial. It's literally brand new. So we ran it for in the first time for class. And now, granted, we knew. I mean, obviously, we're testing and measuring for years on this. So, but it was nice to see the finished version being used, and to see little ones sit there and go through a class activity, because it's there to enhance what teachers already do. So one of the things that we work very closely with teachers on is making sure they understand the business impact to themselves. We are not a mercenary, monetary focused company. We focus on quality and fun and balancing those two out. And if you get those two right, then the whole thing breeds success. But you have to have a business hat on, because if you don't have a business hat on, you go out of business before you can start sharing the joy of music.
Absolutely.
So we train our teachers in things like TCPA. How are you going to find out what your target cost of acquisition? How much is it going to cost you to recruit a student? Because if you're going to spend £50, for example, on an advert that recruits one student, it's cost you £50, but they've left you after month one. Right. Because it was the wrong student. The advert was targeted wrong. The way that you were pitching your ads in the first place to who you thought was going to be a good candidate for a student, it's a whole mindset piece. And so this is something that we've worked on for years and years and years, and we thoroughly enjoy it, and we're rolling it out. And the point is that if you can gain a student at the age of 4, their lifetime value to you, it's a win-win situation.
Right.
I think about our students, and I'm delighted our students watch this. Okay. So this isn't about, oh, here's little Jimmy starting at the age of 4, and by the time he's 14, he's been with Presto for 10 years, and he's given Presto all this money. We're thinking, hang on a minute, hang on. Look at the value that we're going to bring along the way, and all the fun and all the joy. that is value for money, left, right, and centre. And I think anybody who knows me knows that I, especially our team as well, I got shouted at on Wednesday. I was talking about my passion for doing a particular thing, and the team, they've got the same vision as me: quality, quality, quality.
Yep.
But at the same time, I say to them, I'm the director of Presto, so I'm I have a co-director. But the point is that I'm the guy who's there most from our education perspective. I'm the one that drives the education side.
Yeah.
And I say to my team to keep me in check, because there's me coming up with, we could do this, and I can rely on the team to go.
Trust me, I know that feeling. Yeah, it's hard being in charge sometimes, because like it's not that you get excited, right? You start to run with an idea, and you're like, oh, we could do this. Oh, we could do, and then you start thinking of it from the point of view of a kid, and like how cool it would be to like show up to your music lesson and have all these like awesome animations and these widgets and all this stuff moving around. And then of course someone's got to be like, okay, slow down. Like what we're actually capable of doing is this, what we really should be doing is this. It's definitely, that's like the question from earlier, is it's really the team around you that kind of keeps the ship afloat. I couldn't agree more. And as this relates, this is something I haven't heard this brought up all that often, but it used to be brought up in college like every 30 seconds. And then after college, I never heard it again. And I'm sure you can relate, is playing in a band and running a business, same thing. Like same exact thing. So the skills you're teaching kids by playing in groups and doing the 10 years of this kind of education is that kid doesn't look at it, you don't look at it as a checkbook. You look at it at the end, that person's going to produce some amazing stuff for the world. Like that, he's a well-rounded individual who can play amazing music, who can create awesome things, but also has now the business sense to lead a team. And to, like that's so much more than I think people really appreciate.
We're always very careful of GDPR, and we would never give out too much information. But just over 24 hours ago, I had the honor of delivering the first lesson to a young chap whose first name begins with J. Let's go there. We go.
John Doe.
There you go. And I was saying to his mum, who could well be watching this, it's all good, not too much information more out there. I was saying to his mum about the confidence element. So this little chap was 4. And I was explaining about the whole can-do attitude that we instill in our students, which is that at the end of the day, we want to make sure that the students gain all the positive benefits of learning an instrument, all the benefits of music. And confidence is an almighty positive that you get out at the end. Well, no, not the end, during the process of learning an instrument. And that is only true if in a successful environment. It's no good saying, piano boosts your confidence. Well, if your lessons are rubbish,
it might actually do the complete opposite. That's actually, I love that. And it's so tangible. That's, I think, something that's so nice about that is that, like, that student, like you said, is the process. Like the student, they can go to school the following day and have to do a presentation. And I vividly remember using the tricks from playing on stage to do at any of my business presentations. When I first started running a business, I was a nightmare on getting in front of a microphone in a silent audience. I was used to getting in front of a loud audience with 5 other guys, but I just tricked myself into being like, okay, it's just a crowd, it's a stage, get on there, pretend you're performing, you'll be fine. And that works. That's basically how I do everything now. Like even doing a demo for the product, I get on and I'm like, all right, show time, like lights are on, let's do it. And you're walking on stage. But I learned all of that from music, and it was never actually taught. You know what I mean? It wasn't, nobody went, be more confident. They simply said, they simply created it inside of me by showing me I could do things in, an effective manner.
You can see from my knowing grin that this resonates with me. You happened to pick up, was that an international best-selling book you happened to pick up there before? So,
is it?
Yeah,
I do believe.
Look at that.
I do believe.
So I speak in my contribution to that series specifically on this subject. And when you say about the lack of training on that, we do train our students. There's a particular lesson that we do with our students. It tends to be when they're a good bit older, but we bring it in an appropriate way from earlier levels, which is that. So, look, tiny little bit of background. One of the most life-changing moments for me was the second that my nerves disappeared, and it was as quick as that. It was a lightning strike moment. I was on stage in front of 1,000 people. We're at the Parr Hall. The Parr Hall in Warrington is the biggest theatre here. It seats exactly 1,000 people. So it's a beautiful old Victorian place. Stunning place. So nice. So I was on stage there performing, and I made a certain mental, I want to say, decision. Click. My nerves disappeared. And all that happened was this. It was a culmination of realizing that the audience were just going to get what they're going to get.
Yep.
Because I can't change that. Yeah. I'm playing this. This is what you're hearing. So that isn't going to change. And the second thing was, they didn't know any other version of me than the version of me that was on stage.
Yep.
They were getting Jones, who plays this piece here and now. And if I decide I'm going to stick an F sharp in it, I'm going to stick an F sharp in it, even if there's no F sharp in it. They're just going to get that version. That's what it is. Yep. And the moment, this was quite early on in my career. I was probably only about 20 or something, maybe 19, 20, I don't know. And I hadn't finished all my performance exams at the time. And I remember thinking, right, well, hang on a second. So what, am I sending some kind of persona? Is that what it is? Am I sending a persona in there? So I thought, oh, well, that's what I'll do. I won't send Jonesy in who, mum and dad and brother and, that whole family. That's too emotional. I'm not sending him in. I'll send some guy in who plays piano and is really good and he's dead confident in that. And so this is how we train the students to do it. What we do is we say to them, right, so what I want you to do is I want to get your piano book. Here's your piano. Get your piano book. Leave the room. Now knock on the door. Come back in. Sit down. Put your book in front of you and play your exam once and once only. And that's it. You get what you get. And we get them to leave the room again. Yeah. Just do it again. Yeah, and you get what you get, and what happens is the students have this constant loop of I've practiced my pieces, I've practiced my scales, I've practiced all my arpeggios and so on. But what I haven't practiced is the exam. So now they practice doing the exam, and then they get to the point where they think, right, well, I know I can do it, and I know I make some mistakes. But the point is that we've prepped them that much in the mindset side as well, that if they do make mistakes, they know that they can carry on, and that's okay. So therefore become less concerned about it, less stressed about it, because they manage. There's a lot more to it, but I'm basically doing
absolutely.
But in essence, we get them used to the idea that they are less concerned about mistakes, and therefore they make less mistakes. Because as Tom and Jojo will tell you, it doesn't matter if you make mistakes so long as you do your best. They'll tell you that in lesson 1. I know that because it's pre-recorded.
I think I think is one of the hardest things to teach too to young kids is that you can make the mistakes. It's fine. It's music. It's okay there's no really wrong answer. Like, you are fine to do it wrong and then do it wrong again until you get it right. Yeah. And then that's okay. You can, if it takes 20 tries, it takes 20 tries. That's what it is. Yeah, I think it is. One quick little anecdote story on that is I remember getting to my audition for college and going up into the audition room, and I obviously like basically sweating bullets, nervous. I'd been preparing for that my whole life. Go into the room, and they put in front of you is just one piece of sheet music. Then you have 15 minutes to learn the whole thing, basically. So they're testing your sight, reading all that jazz. So I remember going through it over and over again and being like, you know what, I can do the first 3 lines really well. And it progressively got harder and harder. And so I was like, I can do the first 3 lines. So I'm just going to stop there and nail those 3. And then I will be okay. So get in, do those 3, nailed it. And then he goes, okay, so now for the chord changes. And it was one of those, what chord changes? And then I looked up above the line, and every line had a whole row of chord changes. And it was one of those where instead of going into panic mode and freaking out and crying and running out of the room, all the years of preparation culminated to the one useful skill of being like, wait, I played all of these chords in jazz band like 2 weeks ago. Like, I know these. And then just booped my way right through the thing, did what, and I got in, like, it, and if I had screwed that up, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have got actually into the school. It's that tiny little difference, but it's that preparation that gets you to the point where you don't have to overthink it. You can you're calm enough to take in the information, the situation at hand, and just roll forward. And at the end of the day, it's just music.
Sam, we are bringing such value to our students and our viewers here, and I hope that people who are watching this take all this in from the perspective of, here's 2 guys who are immensely passionate about their music. They want the very best for their students at every step along the way. Absolutely. And we should do this again.
Absolutely.
Because we should wrap up now, and I don't want to because we're changing the world here, my friend. We're changing the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we should wrap up. So listen, I'm gonna ask you one final question before we wrap up here. May I ask you, from your perspective, what in a 10-second answer, what would you encourage young musicians to do in order to reach whatever goal it is they are reaching for?
Oh, that's a fantastic one. I think the thing is to actually not focus so much on the goal, and is to more focus on the process. It's that whole enjoy the journey. If you're sitting there, I'm guilty of this. I wanted to go to Berkeley. That's what I wanted. So I got there, but then when I got there, I was like, well, now what? So the process should be what you're enjoying, not the end, because there is no end.
No, not wrong there. No, brilliant. Sam, always a pleasure, but great to see you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
No, you too, man. Thanks so much. We will make sure that we put all the links below, all the things that we've discussed today, ladies and gentlemen. We will put in the links below. Massive thank you to Sam Retty from Muzie. I was going to say I have been David Jones, but I still am David Jones. Unfortunately, that's stuck with me. I can't change that. Great to see you, Sam. You take care. Speak to you soon.
Absolutely.
Take care. Cheers.
Yeah.
Piano and keyboard lessons have just had a level up. The Rhythm Warriors Piano Zone is a book, a game, and an awesome series of lessons that all fit together beautifully. No matter if you're a teacher looking for an inspirational course for your students, or a grown-up wanting to get lessons for your little rock stars at home, I know you're gonna love this. I'm JoJo from the band Rhythm Warriors, and we've created Piano Zone for you. You'll be learning how to read, understand, and play real music on your keyboard or piano right from lesson 1. We'll have a whole bunch of fun together, and the grown-ups will be happy that it's all recognized by Rock School Exam Board. That means it's the real deal. When Rock School first saw our lessons, they said it was groundbreaking and taking music education to a whole new level. Well, that's pretty cool, eh? If you buy one of the special keyboards from the awesome people at Casio, you get Rhythm Warriors Piano Zone free! Wow! How cool is that? Terms and conditions apply. See website for details. We learn how to read real music in the coolest way. Sure, we do all the neat music theory stuff, but but in a way which is exciting. Your little ones will be helping the Rhythm Warriors on our adventures, saving our planet with the power of music. We teach the real stuff, but like it's the fun stuff in a way that makes the fun stuff the good stuff. It's music magic. So, come and check out the Rhythm Warriors Piano Zone and see what all the fun is about.